Hello, hello, crypto miners, crypto enthusiasts, crypto investors, crypto newbies, whoever you are. Just thank you for being here. My name is Crazy Monkey Crypto, and today we're going to be going through the different types of mining pool payouts. Um, Now, a lot of you guys probably have never even thought about this. You probably just see it says, yeah, whatever, PPS on hashrate.no, and you say, yep, good enough, whatever. Um, but depending on the blockchain that you're mining, or the coin that you're mining and the blockchain that it's on, there could actually be an advantage to the different type of mining pool that you're doing. But I'll leave that up to you guys whether you actually want to go any deeper. But let's go through. There's going to be four common ones, three that are on here, and then one that's not because it is kind of uncommon. But let's get right into it. So first, I mean, what is a mining pool? Um, so you basically are pooling your hash rate together, or basically your probability or proportions of finding a block. And you're putting that together because you're competing against so many other people. If you just had one miner by itself, the odds of solving it, if you're competing with 1,000 other miners, your odds of solving the block are just so low. And trust me, there are a lot more than 1,000 miners on. And so when you pool your hash rate together, your computational power, you increase basically the amount of blocks that the pool is getting, and then you are able to then receive a higher payout because your pool is receiving more, and then you are paid out depending on what pool it is to your proportion of the hash rate. As it says here, this is from KuCoin, which is a big exchange, not in the U.S., but so it says the rewards from mining a block in a pool are typically distributed to members based on the amount of computational power they compute. Okay, so the different types of mining pools. So the first one we're going to do is pay per share. So in this one, you are guaranteed a payout for each share that you contribute, regardless of whether you find a block or not. So the pool is taking a risk because say they pay you out for shares, say you get paid out the equivalent of your pool finding 2 Bitcoin blocks, but you found nothing. The pool is still paying you out, but they're not getting any rewards because they never actually found a block. So, but this is a pretty common method because as long as you're a pretty big mining pool, you're going like F2 pool that it has on here, you're going to be finding blocks, and so over time, this probably is not going to be an issue. Now with this one, you are not getting the network fees in your payouts. Now, you might not think, okay, well, a lot of these blockchains are, you don't pay network fees to send crypto. Well, Bitcoin, sometimes the transaction fees are actually more than the block reward. So if you're doing Bitcoin mining, it may be beneficial to actually get one of these pools that does include network fees, because you may be missing out on quite a bit of extra money. So definitely something to consider based on the crypto you are mining. Now, the next one, pretty simple. So it's called proportional. And so in proportional mining pools, you're rewarded based on the number of shares you submit during a round or about one block. So as it says, a round spans the time a pool mines one block to when it mines the next. And so you are rewarded based in proportion to the power that you contribute during that actual round. And so obviously, similar to a lot of these, the higher the hash rate you have, the higher the chance of earning a bigger payout. However, the con is that if you don't find a block, there is no payout. So, like it says, it's proportional. Now, PPLNS, which I think is actually the most fair method. So this pays out based on the last N shares. And you may maybe think back to your math class like, oh no, based on the last N, or like we're raising something to the nth power. Think of it like the amount of shares you submitted in the last time period. So whatever the pool considers to be the N shares, it incorporates that data. So basically what this does is this discourages pool hopping. And so it does that because then it looks back your N amount of shares, however much that pool decides, and then it is paid out similar to the proportional method. Now, this does include the block reward and transaction fees. So I feel like this one is the most fair. It disincentivizes pool hopping. So it incentivizes people to decentralize and kind of stabilize the network so people aren't constantly hopping around. And you're paid pretty fair. Pretty fair. But if you're not, similar to proportion, you're not paid per share if no block is found, right? So obviously you need to find a block in order to make any sort of money. Now, the last one on here, the last one that I have to share, and it's not on here, is going to be the most lucrative. And so this is going to be full paper share FPPS or paper share plus PPS plus. So this is going to be kind of a spin-off of the pay per share. So it's going to be paper share. And if you recall, paper share does not include transaction fees. Full paper share or PPS plus does include the transaction fees. So you're looking at by far the most lucrative because you're also paid regardless of finding a block or not. Now, you might say, well, dang, this sounds awesome. The thing is not a whole lot of mining pools offer this, mostly because they're taking on even more risk than PPS, because you are paying people out their, pay per share and the transaction fees, regardless if your pool finds a block or not. So it can be quite dangerous for the pool to do this, but certainly can be super lucrative as a miner. Now, typically you might find higher pool fees due to this risk, and just in general, they're not very common. Majority are going to be these three different methods right here. So we're over here on hashrate.no. I will leave a link to this down below. So we simply looked up for the 3070, and I chose a random coin, Neoxa, mostly because it's been out for a little while. It's a little bit more of an established coin. So we look at these different pools. You can scroll down, and this lists some of the pools. It's not all the pools. You can see it accounts for about 75.7% of the hash rate. There can be solo miners, which, that this known hash rate doesn't always account for. But as you guys can see, we have the different payout structures here. So we have PPLNS, prop, PPLNS, prop, PPLNT. I'm not totally sure what that is. I assume it's a variation of PPLNS, and then prop. So you guys can see that the PPLNS and prop are very common methods for mining pool payout. Now, it just happens that Neoxa, there are no PPS. It could be for a very various amount of reasons. Maybe the pools did some math and, the PPS shared, or PPS say they'd be losing money. So obviously would not be beneficial for the mining pool to do that. But when you do proportional, it is beneficial for both the pool and the miner. So, okay, guys, I hope that provided maybe a little bit of clarity to the different types of mining pool payout structures. I know when I first started, I saw, cool, prop. I was like, that sounds good, proportional. But I never really understood what this was until just recently. And I took some time to kind of understand, read a bunch of different articles, and try to, better understand what the actual payout structures are. So if you stayed all the way to the end of this video, I really, really appreciate you. Please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. It helps push this video out, and it helps drive traffic to more of my content, which really helps me as a creator. As always, leave a comment down below. Love to chat with you guys if you want to debate what your favorite mining pool payout structure is, or anything else really. So with that, guys, stay safe and happy mining.